Hello everyone, last video I made was about March. We are in June. You can tell I'm already a bit out of practice, but here's the thing. I needed to give my hair a trim. So this will be, is this alright? This will be part candid talk, part tutorial for cutting your hair as ugly as this. Ooh! This is my setup. I've got one mirror ahead of me, stolen from the bathroom, and one mirror here. I've wetted my hair. I've got this in case I need to wet it some more. And of course, I've got my tools. So I've got my comb, I've got my hairdressing scissors, but most importantly, I have my Val 100 series, don't know if you can see that, clippers, with a selection of guards. And we're just gonna go from there. But before we do, a few top tips. You wanna have a nicely lit room. You can't be doing it in the evening. This is as light as my room gets, generally. And you want 2 clean mirrors, so make sure you've given them a good dusting before you start. I've got one of my favourite disco playlists from Spotify going on. And we're gonna have a good time today. Whilst I give a lot of chat about fashion and appearance generally, and I'm generally quite extra with the way that I look, for most of my life, appearance has not actually been that important to me. I was kind of raised in an environment where my dad especially taught me to be comfortable in my own skin, and that's something that I'm incredibly thankful for. That being said, as I've grown into much more of a queer identity and have found a lot of home in those kind of creative spaces of queerness and difference, appearance has become kind of a renewed important factor in my life, I think. While I'm cutting my hair today, I want to take the bowl up a little bit shorter than it was. So I'm going to be using a number 2 and then maybe taking it down to a number 1, whereby 1 is the shortest and 4 is the longest on the clippers. In order to do that, I take a comb and I want to choose a point above where I want the hair, like the bowl of the hair of the bowl, to actually fall. So you can see that I normally cut the bowl like along here, and so I need to take the hair up beyond that point. Now if you're undertaking something like this, you generally do have to be a little bit brave, a little bit gun-ho with how you go about it around the back. And you also need to accept that nothing is ever going to be exactly perfect around the back. But with 2 mirrors you can generally find some kind of good balance, I think. And of course, you're always going to tidy up at the end, so yeah, it's coming along. You might recall I've definitely said on this channel before that I started cutting my hair out of some kind of perceived necessity. I didn't feel that I was able to justify affording getting my hair cut at university, nor did I feel that I had the time. So I bought these clippers, £12 or something on Amazon. They came in the mail and I was away. But the process of cutting my hair, stay up, stay up, stay up, another control over my appearance that isn't just a way to, you know, like, vaguely articulate my identity, but also just find like a new confidence in it because it's something that I can really call mine. I think that often when you give yourself up, theoretically, to a hairdresser, there's a lot of ways that you can be moulded into a certain aesthetic that is commercial, consumable, and easy. In a way, that's what style is. It's like an easily praised form of like social integration. Like, you're not causing a stir, you simply look like laudable. And I guess that's something that just sits weirdly with me, even though it's not even that bad. But I absolutely think that there is a difference, oh god, that there is a difference between style in terms of like dominant styles, aesthetics, ways of looking and being today. There's a difference between that and fashion, identity, and like personal aesthetics. And I think that people really do forget that. They think that if they're in style per se, that's a substitute for being cool, when really the coolest thing is being yourself. Now the front of your head is like your margins, so you need to make sure that they line up, which means that they're up here. Let's try that first. You can always take it up, you can never take it back down. Excuse me. Now I did mention that this bowl per se is not like intrinsic to my identity, but having said that, I definitely think that it has a lot of things to do with both my gender identity and my sexual identity. Not that this was previously conceived of, this was never the plan, but like perhaps intrinsic in like the logics of me choosing out this haircut beyond its easiness. I've grown into it, as everybody is wont to do with their own complex understanding of themselves, Into being a bit of a bowly boy. I think that the bowl as a haircut, especially as a male haircut, is one that is associated with like being a nerd, and with that being fundamentally undesirable, which is like not fun, not logical, nonetheless pervasive. It represents definitely a kind of, not subjugated masculinity, but a masculinity hyphen not hyphen enough. It represents something, as I was saying before, that's just not in the social aesthetic currency, itself incredibly sexualized. So there's something there about like desire, undesirability, that I think laying claim to as an asexual demi person is like quite cool and empowering. This idea of wearing a bowl and of not like, and I do feel this like incredibly consciously, the idea of not seeking the value of generic attractiveness. Like I absolutely do not want to be perceived as my asexual self as normatively attractive, because I don't experience attraction in a normative way. And furthermore, I also don't want to be perceived as normatively male, because I don't experience maleness and masculinity in a normative way. So although it's nothing crazy what I'm doing with my hair, it's definitely something that I think channels the like, those kind of questions of normativity and of uncertainness of queerness fundamentally is absolutely what I want my hair now to channel, even if to begin with I just wanted to cut my own hair and for it to be something like different and cool. Instead of just doing a radial comb. And you know what, that's looking better already. I don't trim my fringe with scissors. I trim it with clippers first of all, and then I tidy it up with scissors, purely because this has already got the kind of horizontal line that you're wanting. And we're looking just to extend the line in a flat way, as flat as we can, across the forehead. Maybe we'll have to come back to this in a step or two later. But hey, while I'm here... Now recently I've been having the problem of like mushrooming, I guess you could say, with my hair, where it's just been getting like super big on the side because all of the hair is like growing over each other to the same specific length. So what I'm trying to do now, especially because it's summer and it's getting really fucking warm out there, is I'm trying to thin out the hair, give it a bit more layers, so even though it stops in the same place, and will still have like the same effect as a bowl, it's just not like, you know? Okay, that's not great, is it? Oh, good. I like to leave my hair here at a flat line. I don't know why. I just think sideburns are a bit like... Sideburns don't really work with the look, if you know what I mean. Like, everything is just like square. Just a personal thing, you know. There we go. That's alright. That's alright. Alright, a lot of this is sometimes. No, I get like this kind of thing underneath the bowl because I'm a bit haphazard with this old thing. Which I'm actually fine with. I think it looks quite cool. On this side, however, I got two and I didn't know why. So here's what I thought. I'll just match the two. But this is not working for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch down to a 1. Just for like this front bit. And that looks better, I guess. Another point that I've discovered from wearing hair like this, which is not even like that radical, it's like not a big deal, is like the amount of interest that people take in your appearance. You do something a little bit different, and it's like, I don't like that, and you're like, of course, like, you don't need to like it, like, I need to like it. What they're essentially saying to you is, like, that's problematic to me, I don't want that in my frame of view, and that in that situation is simply, like, your appearance, which, as I hope I've discussed, is incredibly important to me, like, increasingly so. And what's that saying? And it's a hard one, because it's like, I wear this, and I continue to wear it, because it is ugly, and I like subverting the notion that certain things are ugly because of certain economies of social capital that are happening at the moment, of like, to do with trend and fashion and style. Like, there is nothing that makes anything ugly. And if it is ugly, can we subvert that and make it cool or beautiful. If you wear something with confidence, you can always sell it. Do you know what I mean? And then that renders this increasingly sexualized economy of aesthetic pretty powerless. And I love that. So why, at the same time, when people are like, that's ugly, does it annoy me? Because it both annoys me and spurs me on to do the same thing over and over again, to really be like, but what is ugly though? But there's a certain process of curation that happens with your appearance. And you're like, yeah, I like it because it looks ugly, fine. I like it because it says something, but at the same time, I'm still looking for it to look a certain way, do you know what I mean? This isn't just it's going to be haphazard, but this isn't just some throwaway thing that I do. It's actually a very conscious and practiced process of performance and self-articulation. Words, Joseph! Ha ha ha! I think I really need to work on the way that I talk in front of the camera, because I often throw around words that seem empty, but that only in my head have meaning, and whilst YouTube works on very short, consumable content, I want my content to mean something against the context of what I've studied in the past. And sometimes I think I just need to take the time to explain what I mean. Okay, so what we have here is something very uneven. Bit like our society. God, everything in the mirror is back to front as well, so you really have to think about where you're going. I think we can leave it there. But I just want to end on saying that I feel extremely comfortable in the hair that I'm in at the moment. I feel that that it is completely me. That isn't to say that I think that I'm ugly. On the contrary, I think that I'm creative and confident. I think that that just like shines through. Self-positivity. This video is very important, I think, because it's allowed me to articulate feelings that I've had about my hair to an audience that I know will listen and respect those thoughts and opinions, rather than people who don't do that in my everyday life. Better.